This is a presentation on the 5 tactics to increase cash flow for your poultry farm. Now, I don't want to replay a commercial, but I do want to tell you a little bit about Barn to Door to help you understand how we came up with these 5 tactics. First, we work with thousands of farms across all 50 states. In fact, we add hundreds of new farms every month. As a result of that, we're actually capturing millions of page views every month across all these stores that allows us to aggregate data and capture insights that are based on facts, real data, not anecdotes. One of the things we really like to do, whether you're a customer of ours or not, is actually assemble these things into a variety of resources, whether it's something you read, something you watch, or listen to, and we make it all freely available because we want to help your farm be successful regardless of your size and regardless of whether you're a customer of ours or not. So go to barntodor.com/resources and you can access all kinds of information from other farms like yours to learn how to be successful online. Now that switches me over to the other topic, which is your farm ready for e-commerce? Are you ready to go online? If you're a farm that's eager to grow and increase the frequency of sales, going online makes a ton of sense. If you're seeking to save time because you've got an incredibly busy operation, you don't have enough time in the day, you're trying to manage inventory on a chalkboard, and orders are coming in over the phone, over text message, over email, and you're trying to assemble that on one spot, doing that online is a great outcome. And especially if you have a large operation, if you're doing more than $50,000 a year in gross sales, being online is a no-brainer. If you're a smaller farm, it's a bit more of a business decision. If farming is just a hobby for you, that's your call. Maybe you can get by just selling to your local church and your local school group. However, if you're looking to really make it a business and grow your business beyond $50,000 a year in sales, you need to realize that most of those purchases, more than 80%, in fact, many times 100% we see are oftentimes just done with credit card. So moving online and having an e-commerce presence is really important if you want to grow your business. So let's shift to the topic. Increasing cash flow. This is the number one thing on the mind of many farms, regardless of size, right? Everyone wants to have a resilient and sustainable business, and that requires cash flow. So let's look at the tactics. Number one, you have to simplify your packaging. What that means, based on the data that we've seen, is actually keeping your product mix to less than 50 items. Too often, farms make the mistake of having too many items, hundreds, sometimes up to 1,000 items. The problem with that is that when you give more choices, you have lower conversion. So fewer items leads to a much higher conversion. So simplify your inventory and get the number of items that are available to less than 50 items. The second aspect of this is make your products available in bundles. People prefer bundles. Believe it or not, they convert at a much, much higher rate than individual specialty items. The best part about bundles too is that they're oftentimes a higher dollar value and it enables your farm to move all of your products, right? You don't want to just sell a small, medium, and large bundle. You actually want to sell some creative bundles like a broth bundle where you can sell the chicken feet, the chicken heads, the necks. Believe it or not, people love those fly off the shelf for many of our poultry farmers. So think about how you can take all of your product, move it into bundles, and maybe just a few specialty products. The other aspect here too is when you think about your bundles and you think about your packaging, make sure you're packaging for everyone in America. Only a third of people actually live with 3 or more people. About a third of America lives solo. They live alone. And about a third also live with just 2 people. So when assembling your bundles, don't just package them in 15 and 20 pound boxes. Make sure you're thinking about a 5 pound and a 10 pound box, which might be more palatable or approachable for an individual or a couple. Same thing would go with your dozens of eggs, okay? The second aspect here is to make it easy to purchase. People expect to purchase online. Make it really easy, point and click. Whether you're available or not, many farms make the mistake of asking people to call them or to text them. The problem is that creates death by 1,000 paper cuts. You want it to be easy for your buyer and easy for you too. So what that means is anytime somebody calls or texts you or emails you, always have a link ready to go to your shop. right? You want people to shop online. They can shop 24/7. And best of all, your inventory, everything's updated in real time. The second aspect here to increase sales is you want to eliminate any guesswork, any variables that are unknowns. So with your eggs, people obviously just package them in a dozen or a couple dozen at a time, but they're usually just small, medium, and large, right? You're not weighing your eggs. Guess what? That same best practice should apply to your meat birds. So just package your meat birds in small, medium, and large, or extra small, extra large, but don't try to weigh the bird that is 3.21 ounces versus 3.28 ounces. It's not worth your time. And your buyers don't expect it either. Believe it or not, moving your birds just based on a small, medium, large size saves you time and will actually increase sales. The third one here is to move specialty cuts in bundles, right? So let's say you have a very large bird or you have several extra large birds. Just cut them up and then sell the packages of 2, 4, and 8 of breast, thighs, and drums. Same thing, sell flat pricing based on the size of the product. Keep it simple and make it easy for people to make a decision. The only exception to this rule is if you sell turkeys, which obviously are a much heavier bird, in which case you're going to want to take a deposit, often months in advance. And then, of course, then you'll reconcile final weights when you harvest the birds in the fall. Okay. Now, before we move into the additional tactics, I want you to all take a step back and think about what buyers expect. Buyer expectations today are shaped by billion-dollar brands who are hitting your customers on every channel and are making every purchase they make incredibly convenient. And so buyers today have increasingly high expectations that you're being measured against. So the third piece here is the expectation of being able to just subscribe and save. So people don't just want to buy something once, especially something that's a repeat purchase. Your buyers are not going to stop eating next week or next month. If they do, they'll be 6 feet under. The reality is they have to keep eating. We all do. So make it easy for your buyers to subscribe and save. You can align it with whatever your harvest schedule is. So if you're collecting and selling eggs once or twice a week, make that your subscription schedule. Allow people to sign up for a weekly egg delivery, not a problem. If you're harvesting your meat birds once a month or bi-monthly, same thing. Align your subscriptions with that same harvest schedule. What's great about this, it gives you a great predictability and cash flow, and you're not having to sell your birds after you harvest them or your eggs after you've collected them. Everything's pre-sold. You've got guaranteed cash flow coming through. The cool part about this is your buyers are going to be delighted, right? Buyers are busy. People are very busy these days, right? They've got all kinds of things going on in their life. And so anything you can do to make it easier for them to make one less decision, because they know they love your products. So just allow them to subscribe to it and just have it show up on their doorstep. The third piece here is that when you do this, believe it or not, your existing customers are going to be 3 times more likely to sign up for a subscription, which is going to increase their frequency of purchase from your farm. You're going to make more money. The other part of this too is if you have add-ons of any seasonal products, other things you might be growing, that all goes to increasing your average order and revenue from your existing customers. New customers too clearly love subscriptions as well, but subscriptions are a game changer for your farm. Now, this is a big deal. In 2020, everything changed. Everyone expects delivery now. And the reality is that buyers have been conditioned by Amazon. In fact, if you look back at 2020, 93% of all adults in America ordered from Amazon. So buying online is not a mystery. Don't tell me you have unique customers who are afraid to order online. That's not true. 93% of adults ordered online from Amazon. And that's not including other e-commerce vendors like Target or Walmart. So the expectations of ordering online and having it be convenient is increased tremendously. So if you look at 2019, just 1 out of 20 people ordered food for home delivery. Last year in 2020, that number jumped to 1 out of 3 order food online. Now, clearly, all the closures and health concerns fueled by the pandemic accelerated that growth. But let me tell you something, that expectation is not going away. Once people have a taste of how easy it is to have food delivered to their home, that's what they're going to continue to expect going forward. The good news for you as a farmer, though, is that people are actually willing to pay for delivery. This is the exciting part. You can actually make delivery profitable and profitable from day one. You don't have to start with a huge zone for doing deliveries. You can narrow in on a very specific single zip code or a specific area of a city or a metropolitan area to offer delivery and test it out. You can charge delivery fees. Oftentimes we see between $5 to $15 per delivery. I'd say the average is about $8 to $10 per delivery. Now, the cool thing is you can get 6 to 9 deliveries in an hour on average. We have some farms getting closer to 12 to 15. But the reality is that the economics of that enable you to employ a high school kid to go run the deliveries for you, or employ a driver and still have it be profitable day one. We know of several farms who are actually making just as much in net profit and margin on delivery as they are on their food. Crazy to think that delivery could be such an effective vehicle, no pun intended, but such an effective vehicle for your farm to make money. Now, the fifth thing here too is really critical, which is even if you offer the convenience, even if you offer subscriptions and great products, you have to be top of mind. There are so many competitors out there that are vying for the attention of your customers that you must stay top of mind if you want to keep those loyal customers purchasing from you on an ongoing basis. Especially true if you're trying to acquire and access new customers. So what does this look like? Here's what the data tells us. You need to be emailing your customers at least once or twice per week. Email now is treated much like a social feed. What that means is that people just leave all their emails in their inbox and they never archive them or put them in folders. I do, but that's abnormal these days, right? The reality is that most people just let their email inbox get insanely large. And so the only thing that they actually pay attention to is what is on page one. So that's why you need to be emailing people so consistently. The other aspect too is that if you do email your customers on a weekly basis, just with a simple order reminder, and that's something, for instance, we automate at Barn to Door. If you do that just once a week, we see that the average number of orders for those farms increased 28%. 28% simply by sending a weekly order reminder. The second thing here you need to do is you need to be posting and engaging on social on a weekly basis. Now, you can schedule your posts. So this doesn't have to take a ton of time. You can set aside 20, 30 minutes a week at most just to get on social media and be able to post and engage buyers online. And we oftentimes highlight the fact it's important to have a diversity of different types of posts. A simple picture, just educating people about the chores or your practices. A funny picture of an animal stuck or something funny that happened on the farm that's entertaining. And then certainly a post that's a call to action to purchase something, or maybe it's a picture of you doing a delivery to somewhere. Anything that, again, that can be shared or can, again, raise awareness is really important for you. The reason why it's so important is that 65% of all orders that we see originate on social and complete on mobile. Really critical to be active on social media for your farm to convert on all those opportunities. The third thing here too is you want to send a monthly newsletter. This is really critical for people to connect with the brand of your farm. People want authenticity, right? Online is not a replacement for the relationship that somebody wants to have with you as a farmer. People romanticize your lifestyle, believe it or not, but they also really care. They care about the environment. They care about animal welfare. They care about the food that they put in their body, but they also really want to care about you as a farmer and how you're caring for the food that feeds their families. So build your story, share it at least once a month. The cool part about it is you can also integrate and recommend products right through your newsletter. And Barn to Door, that all just syncs. It's really easy for you just to go through and do that with a tool like MailChimp. It's fantastic. So you do these three things: email, post on social media, and send a newsletter on a regular basis, then you'll be top of mind with your customers. Now, here's the really exciting news and exciting piece of data I want to share with everyone. If you do these things, especially offering delivery and offering subscriptions to those bundle boxes, farms that offer delivery and offer these bundle box subscriptions earn on average 2x more in monthly revenue. Let me say that again. Farms that offer delivery and subscriptions to these types of bundle boxes earn on average 2 times more in average monthly revenue. It works. It works incredibly well. And I hope you think about this for your farm if you want to increase cash flow. So let's review those tactics one last time. Number one, simplify your packaging. Make it easy to purchase so people aren't having to guess how it works. Allow people to subscribe and save. Offer subscriptions to those products and align it with your harvest schedule. Four, take the plunge and just test out offering delivery door to door. Believe it or not, people will pay for it. Even if you start with just 1 day a month, people will gladly pay for it and you'll be surprised at how well it works. And the fifth thing here, again, stay top of mind. Make sure you're active on email, social, and with your newsletters. And of course, if you have other questions, or you want to hear from other farmers, hear other podcasts, other stories, things that they've done that work for them, we have a whole series of free resources at barntodoor.com/resources, where you can hear from other farmers like yourself, not marketing speak, but from farmers. How did they do it and how did it help them be successful? So thank you everyone for taking the time to listen to me and hear about this data. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at Barn to Door. We have folks who service every state in the union and work with farmers in your state and in your region who'd be happy to speak with you, walk through examples, and perhaps give you some feedback on things you might think about, regardless of whether or not you choose to work with us. Again, thank you for your time, and I wish you well in 2021.